camps have opened up, but there's been years where I've seen trades, but this season, holy cow, the trade wins right before the tip-off. Tony Camino there, I'm Andy Billman here. Celtics made a trade. We talked about the Bucks earlier. You can check out the video here on YouTube. You can check out the articles on BelievingLand.com. Celtics made a trade, and I'm going to lead off and let Tony take it. They made a trade for Jrue Holiday. Now, the good news is the Bucks and Celtics may never win again in the 2030s because they're trading away everything. That said, that was a wonderful trade for the Celtics, which really bothers me, is the Cavs had such an advantage. I think it's actually a better fit than Keith Smart. Marcus Smart. I think I like Jrue Holiday a lot. He's a gamer. He's such a good defender, and he has some offensive ability. I never understood Marcus Smart's offensive ability. I mean, he can shoot, but it's not like Jrue Holiday. His defense is not as good as Smart, but it's still very good. It fills that missing void with Smart leaving for the Porzingis trade. I hate to say it, Tony, it's a good trade for the Celtics. It really is.
Yeah, it's the move they've been looking for. They've been saying all this time, basically since Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown got together as a duo. We need that point guard who can get downhill and get some guys some open looks. And they got it. And yeah, they lost Marcus Smart, but they got Porzingis in that deal, and then they replaced Smart with what I think is a definite upgrade. Smart is a great defender, but we saw what Jrue Holiday can do on defense when he was in the finals. He's definitely no slouch on that end either. And it is tough. Definitely is an arms race in the East right now between the Bucks and the Celtics. But the good news, it sucks because the Cavs are life's getting harder when they're not even doing anything. But the good news is that this team's growth is all going to come from within anyway, and we knew that.
Yes.
This is the roster, and it's just about how quickly they can progress, and the patience might need to be had this year because Evan Mobley and Darius Garland are still 22 and 23.
Of course. I'll give some positive. I'm not fearful of Porzingis. I'm not a big Porzingis guy. And in fact, the Cavs have done pretty well against Porzingis over time with the Wizards and with the Mavericks. So I'm not in the Knicks. I know he played for the Knicks many moons ago. So I'm not really too fearful of him. And in fact, I think Mobley will be fine. I think Mobley or Jared Allen, we'll figure it out. But the Holiday move puts so much pressure on the guard situation that when they play them, they're going to have to probably put LeVert out there. They're probably going to have to put maybe even the times in Okoro at certain moments. Because Holiday, I don't know why, every time he played the Cavs, he always seemed to do very well. He's a grinding player. He really hustles. He plays very hard for 48 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think if the Celtics knew Jrue Holiday, or if the Bucks knew Jrue Holiday was going to get rerouted to Boston, they might have a little bit of second thoughts. They obviously want Damian Lillard, but that is for everybody in the East, that is the one spot we did not want him to go. Right away when that trade was made, I was like, all right, Holiday's getting moved anywhere but Boston, and it probably won't affect that much. But of course he goes to Boston, and less about Porzingis as an individual. I just think the addition of him helps what the Celtics do as a whole because
of course
they don't have they have all shooters on that team. Literally every single guy they will run out there can shoot, and that's going to be a challenge to guard.
The one thing that gives me hope is, again, what I just mentioned. Here's the other one. When the Cavs have played the Celtics, and this is an advantage, could be a bad one, it could be a good one. Tony said it. This is a very analytical mind team. They love the three. Do you know what that means? If they miss the threes, they're probably not going to win. And that was a big problem for the Celtics against the Cavs. Towards the third or fourth quarter, they were just chucking shots and missing. So that gives hope here. That does not really change with Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday is not a three-point shooter. So it isn't like they're adding someone in there who's going to really shoot up threes. It's not like he's fine.
He's not a sniper. You're not going to...
Right.
But he's going to... If you leave him open, he'll burn you from there.
He will, but he's not... he's okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't scare me. If he makes... He could have a night where he makes, 6 out of 10, sure. But most nights it's 3 out of 10, so it's fine. But my point is, that's what you have to hope the Celtics do. If they take care of Porzingis in this matchup and they really show their strength, allow the Celtics to outshoot them or shoot through them because that's really what they do. The Celtics shoot a lot of jump shots, especially now with the new coach who really – I don't know what happened after Stevens left. But, boy, and by the way, he didn't leave. He's just further up in the organization. But boy, they love to shoot the threes now. Really do.
We saw it in their run last year. That's why they lost the series to the Heat. They just went cold. They couldn't hit shots, and The Miami Heat were playing out of their minds. I think the biggest thing right now to monitor with the Celtics, they have to still go get a backup big man because
Yeah.
Porzingis has played 60 games like 3 out of 7 times in his career, and Al Horford's 37 years old. You're not going to run those two out there for 36 minutes a game 70 plus times a year. So seeing how well they hold up, they're going to have to go get somebody who's reliable. Right now it's Luke Cornett. We've seen enough of him. He's not very good. And maybe, I mean, he's got some good height. So, and I know he's got somewhat of an ability to shoot, kind of, but they will definitely look to address that because as of right now, in a playoff series, they don't really have that. Robert Williams was nice when they played like the Sixers. They could throw him in
Yes.
there and control the paint. Now he's gone. They don't need someone that good, but they need somebody just like a physical paint body to come in and to help them get through the season.
Robert Williams is injured too. The Celtics have not had good luck, which is good. To me, the Bucks are superior. The Celtics, again, I'm already chipping away at it. I think the Celtics adding Jrue Holiday is a good ad. It really does. And it changes my perspectives. I loved the Cavs before the Jrue Holiday move. Now after that, it's like, well, take some steam out of it. But the Cavs can wear down the Celtics. If they're not shooting well and they can really get into the paint, I agree with Tony. And Al Horford, it's so weird. He's almost like a small forward guard. He really does not play inside. He does rebound, but he really doesn't play inside. And defensively, he can mow him over. It's really not that hard. And that goes to, again, I think in this matchup, it's better than the Bucks. I like this matchup better than the Bucks. Do you? I like the Cavs matchup to the Celtics compared to the Bucks.
Yeah, it's probably easier to game plan for that than it is how do you stop Giannis in the paint? And if you figure that out, can you also still stop Lillard from just completely torching you? We'll see how anybody figures that out right now. I like the matchup a little bit more, but I think the Celtics have a lot of potential to do some good things. They got to stay hot shooting, and they got to stay healthy.
Healthy and with the front court. The back court's there. And because even if they lose Holiday, they can replace him in and out. They'll be okay for a few weeks. If they lose Porzingis, I mean, you made a good point. That is a real. I mean, look, if the Cavs lose Evan Mobley, forget it too.
Right.
But again, like that. But Porzingis being out is a very likely scenario at some point. So time will tell. Tony will be doing an article, and we'll be up on BelieveInLand.com talking about this matchup going into the season. Again, for a quick surmise, I think this is better than the Bucks, but the Jrue Holiday mood is a significant shift again in the East. And I'll end on this note. Let me see if you agree. I think right now it's Bucks, Celtics in this top line, but I think the Bucks above the Celtics, and then there's this group of four where it's the Sixers, Heat, Cavs, Knicks. It's kind of all, and they're not in that order, but there's kind of in that second grouping.
Yeah, that's probably the way it's been even before these moves, but now it's really definitive. My feeling personally, and this is probably a little bit biased, I think the Cavs really this year will get to that point where they're in between those two because I really think they're better than the Knicks, Sixers, and Heat. I think they should be substantially better than those teams, but they're not quite in that top tier. I don't know if they make it there, but I think we should see by the end of the year the development that they are better than at least the Knicks and Heat.
Yeah, I'm actually, this is going to surprise Tony, or maybe not because of our previous conversation. I think the Knicks and Cavs are very close to each other. I think they're actually significantly better than the Sixers and Heat. The Heat have had a bizarre, weird, I mean, they had nothing worked out. And I don't know what to say about the Sixers. I think that's finally turned the opposite direction. So I kind of agree with Tony. I think it's the Knicks and Cavs in that next line. I don't. Again, I gotta. The Knicks just really that elimination bothered me. So I gotta see the Cavs a few times against the Knicks. See how they do. But time will tell. Tony Camino there. I'm Andy Billman here. Check out all of our great work and BelieveInTheLand.com.